Why do we need to take a break from the hobby? Well, let's find out now. Hi, I'm Tom Kovichak, and this is Tom's Trains and Things. This channel was created to help other modelers who are in need of guidance in pursuing their dream of building a model railroad. And the big question is, why do we need to take a break? Sometimes we just spend a little bit too much time on the hobby. Have you ever been working on something on your workbench and moving right along with it, and you think, oh boy, I mean, it's only been about an hour, and you look up at the clock and you've been on there for 6 hours. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Have you ever been working on something on your layout and it just didn't go right, and you just keep on trying and it still doesn't go right? You keep on trying again and you really get frustrated with it. That's another time. You're working on some really small, intricate parts and your fingers start to cramp up. Oh my goodness. You're sitting on a stool at your workbench and your legs fall asleep. Or better yet, I have this cushion with the armrest on it that I use for working underneath the layout. Have you ever fallen asleep underneath the layout? All of those are short-term situations where you need to take a break while you're working on that layout. But there are situations where you've been working on a layout for such a long time that is your entire life, that you just keep on going day after day after day, and you forget about everything else that is around you. Model railroading seems to be the only thing that you're concerned about. I've had plenty of situations where I had to just walk away from the model railroad and just take a break. My problem is I've always been the type of person that gets started on something and doesn't want to stop until you're finished. I don't know if there's anybody else out there like that, but that has been an issue with me when I worked for somebody else, when I had my own business, and when I'm at my model railroad. There were a couple of times where I think my body was telling me it's time to stop. Model railroading is a hobby to most of us. Some of us, it's a lifestyle. But to me, it is a hobby. It's a place to have fun. It's a place to relax. It's a place to relieve your stress, not to cause more stress in your life. So whenever you get to that point, or even before you get to that point, be able to recognize when it's time to stop. Most of us get so involved in what we're doing, we just keep on going and going and going. You know, like that Energizer bunny, and get so tired and get so frustrated. It puts us in a point where we just want to give up and walk away. Before you put yourself in that kind of situation, it's time to take a break. Find something else to do. If you're working on a particular part of your layout and you're getting frustrated with what you're doing, go on another part of the layout and work on a different project. Say, like, go from working on your turnouts to work on scenery someplace else, or go and work on some structures, or go on work on some electronic projects if you love electronics and you're able to do it. But don't get stuck in that rut where you get frustrated, where you're going to start destroying things. This past week, I took a well-needed rest. I did my Monday night live stream, and it was shorter than normal. And then on Tuesday, I did a special edition live stream. And then after that, I just took a break. I just relaxed. The rest of Tuesday, all of Wednesday, all of Thursday, all of Friday, all except for taking Debbie to her physical therapy and to the doctors. The rest of the day was just relaxing. I even hired somebody to cut the grass last week. that was much needed. So today is Saturday, and this is my first day back at doing what I love to do here. But I really needed that break. Using a method that they do at physical therapy, and I don't know why this hasn't dawned on me earlier, because I've been through many physical therapy sessions, but they have a timer. That is probably the best idea. Go to Dollar General or the Dollar Tree and pick yourself up a small timer, or even put it on your cell phone. You could use the option on your clock on the cell phone as a timer and set a time where you're going to work on a particular project. Like if you're going to work on your turnouts, set the timer for an hour. Once that alarm goes off, take a break, go work on something else. Give yourself some time on another project, like on the scenery, or on laying some tracks someplace else, or working on a structure, or painting. Just set a time and then go by that, and then take a break, walk away, do something else. And if you want to spend time in the train room and not pick a specific task that you're doing, but want to set a limit to how long you want to stay in the train room, give yourself 4 hours. Give yourself whatever you think is comfortable without going overboard. And then once you get to that point, sit down, have yourself some Doritos and your favorite beverage. Take a break. Do something else for a while. And if you have time left before it's bedtime, have at it. Set your time limit again. I think that's the best advice. And I don't know why I haven't thought about that earlier, because I have burnt myself out so many times working on projects on my layout in the middle of the night all day long and getting nowhere. Sometimes you could work on something and you think you're making really great progress, and you look up at the clock and you see that you've been on there for 5 hours, and all you have is about 10 minutes worth of work there, because you've been fiddling around with the same thing over and over and over again, and you really didn't realize it. Be aware of your surroundings and get yourself a timer and set a time limit for what you want to do, and maybe you won't get burned out like a lot of people do. I've been burned out a lot, believe me, in my work, and even after I retired working on the model railroad. I've been going for a year now, disassembling my model railroad, packing everything up, finding a new house, putting everything in storage, moving everything into the new house, rearranging everything, unpacking boxes, trying to get the layout back up. It's been a year, and I finally took the time to stop and relax for a few days. So it was a well-needed rest, but I recommend try not going that long without stopping. Give yourself a time limit on what you're doing and stick by it, because if you don't stick by it, you're just going to burn yourself out. So I hope you see yourself enjoying model railroading, having fun with it, and having it as an unstressful situation as much as possible. Because remember, you're doing it because that's what you like to do, and it takes you away from all the problems that are outside this terrible place right now. So enjoy the hobby, have fun. And until the next time, we'll see you.